Welcome to our politics discussion today. I'm Claire, and I'm joined by Alan.
Hello, I'm Alan. We'll be covering several key stories in today's episode.
Let's start with a story about a man who was arrested for making a threat on social media to shoot Reform UK party leader Nigel Farage. The Metropolitan Police confirmed that a man in his 20s was arrested and bailed on suspicion of sending threatening communications.
That's quite serious. What exactly did the threat entail, according to the reporting?
The articles don't go into the specific details of the threat, but they do confirm that it was made via social media. Concerns are growing over the security of British politicians following this incident.
I see. So is there any indication that this is part of a larger trend or a one-off incident?
The reporting doesn't suggest it's part of a larger trend, but it does mention that concerns are growing. This implies that there might be some context or other incidents that are causing worry about politician security.
That makes sense. Have there been any statements from Nigel Farage or Reform UK about this incident?
The articles don't mention any specific statements from Nigel Farage or Reform UK about the threat. They focus on the fact of the arrest and the growing concerns about politician security. Moving on to a different story, the U.S. Mint is set to produce a new $1 coin featuring President Donald Trump's face. This is part of a celebration for America's 250th birthday.
That's an interesting development. What was the stated reason for producing this coin, according to the Treasury Secretary?
The Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, said the coin is intended, quote, to honor the enduring legacy of liberty and a lasting symbol of patriotism, unquote.
So it's framed as a patriotic gesture rather than a direct commemoration of President Trump himself.
Exactly. While it does feature President Trump's face, the justification given is about celebrating America's legacy and patriotism.
I understand. Are there any other details about the design or when this coin will be available?
The articles mention that the U.S. Mint has started producing the coin, but they don't provide specific details about the design beyond it featuring President Trump's face. They also don't give a specific release date. Let's move on to another story. France's National Assembly has given final approval to a bill allowing adults with incurable illnesses to receive lethal medication. This comes after years of debate over end-of-life care.
That's a significant development. What were the key arguments or considerations that led to this bill being passed?
The articles don't go into the detailed debates, but they do frame it as a culmination of years of discussion over end-of-life care. The bill allows adults with incurable illnesses to receive lethal medication.
Was there any notable opposition or controversy surrounding this bill?
The vote was 291-241, indicating some level of opposition. However, the articles don't delve into the specific arguments against the bill.
I see. So what's the next step for this bill? Does it automatically become law?
Actually, the bill doesn't immediately become law. There will be a review to determine if it complies with the French Constitution. Shifting gears, President Trump has threatened to expand U.S. strikes on Iran to target power plants and bridges next week if Tehran doesn't make a deal.
That's a pretty aggressive statement. What was the context or trigger for this threat?
According to the reporting, Trump made this statement during an interview with Fox News, warning that Iran would face major damage if they didn't come to the negotiating table.
Are there any indications of how Iran has responded to this threat, or any other reactions from the international community?
The articles don't mention any specific responses from Iran or the international community to this particular threat. They do note that the U.S. has continued military strikes for several consecutive days.
That suggests a significant escalation. Have there been any statements from other U.S. officials or allies about this threat?
The reporting doesn't mention any other statements from U.S. officials or allies regarding this specific threat. Finally, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is facing a Senate confirmation hearing. This comes after a turbulent tenure atop the Justice Department.
What are the main issues or controversies that Todd Blanche is likely to face during this hearing?
According to the articles, Blanche will be questioned about his brief but turbulent tenure at the Justice Department. The hearing will also test President Trump's grip on Republican lawmakers.
So this hearing is not just about confirming Todd Blanche, but also about the political dynamics within the Republican Party.
Exactly. The outcome of this hearing could reflect on President Trump's influence over Republican lawmakers. Are there any other key topics or questions that are expected to come up during this hearing?
The articles suggest that Blanche's tenure and the actions taken during his time at the Justice Department will be under scrutiny, but they don't provide specific details on other topics.
We've covered several stories today, from the arrest of a man threatening Nigel Farage to the U.S. Mint producing a $1 coin with Trump's face, France's assisted dying bill, Trump's threats against Iran, and Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing.
That's a broad range of topics. I think we've given our listeners a comprehensive overview of these important issues.
Thanks for joining me, Alan. Until next time.
Thank you, Claire. Until next time.